Good evening, Councilwoman Cosby. This is our 10th annual celebration of Black History. I'm so excited. It's going to be the last one that we organized in the 5th Ward, but I'm going to hope that the Cultural Committee and the Recreation Department will take this that I've started and continue it on for many, 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 many years. I'm happy to host every year the essay contest. Years ago, we did posters, we did poems, we did essays, and it was a lot, but it was always awesome for the young people who participated. So if you guys will join me, I'm going to just say a little prayer, and we're going to ask God to bless our event, our evening, those who are here, those who are on their way, and those who could not come, as we celebrate Black history and creative youth. Amen. On the back of your form, your program, or your sheet, is the first verse of the Negro National Anthem, and we are graced with the awesome Linden High School Madrigals led by Mr. Cosby. They're going to lead us, so if you guys will stand up, because we're going to rise for the Negro National Anthem, and we're going to sing the first verse led by the Madrigals. You guys, you're going to come over there, because, you want to be on Linden TV, so come over here.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise, high as the listening skies. Let it resound, loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song brought us, facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the day that hope unborn had died. Yet with the steady beats have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come slaughtered, facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on, till victory. Lift every voice, lift every voice, lift every voice.
They sing so beautifully, don't you agree? Yes. It's not over. They're going to sing some more. I did want to give some acknowledgments. I was looking for some of my colleagues, but that's okay. I do want to say that over the years we have celebrated people in our community for doing great work, right? So we're going to talk about the very first time we did this. We had 4 kids, 3 essays, maybe like 2 poems, and we celebrated Lee Roper, who was the first African-American firefighter serving 25 years in the city of Linden. And so that was the first time that he was celebrated when we did that. We celebrated Miss Mildred Curry Johnson. She's an educator. She has a patent. She served the community. She's the reason why this whole building is here right now. She advocated for that. We celebrated Donald Gibbons Sr., American Boxing Association, New Jersey Boxing, all of that. We celebrated Marshall Parker. He's right there. He doesn't want to speak. He's a veteran. He served honorably in which branch were you in? In the United States Army. He came back. He was a supervisor. He was a mentor, and he lives right here in Linden in the 4th Ward. We thank you and celebrate you. 50 years, yeah. And he comes every year, except last year. I gave him the wrong date by mistake, so he missed it, but he's here every year. So I want to acknowledge the Linden Board of Education for having the children participate. in the singing, also the principals, teachers who help the children with the prompt this year. Every year we give a prompt, we ask the kids to be creative, and this year they were very, very, very creative, and I'm grateful. So we're going to enjoy some more of the Linden High School madrigals, and then we're going to have one of the madrigals has written original music and song, and will perform that for us as well. So they're going to come back, and I'm going to get out the way. So enjoy.
The first song we'll be singing is Nabaka Nawewe. It's an African folk song. The translations are: blessing to you, we wish you joy, we wish you hope, we wish you peace, and we wish you love. Enjoy.
Napenda furaha, napenda matumaini, napenda amani, napenda upendo baraka. Napenda furaha, napenda matumaini, napenda amani, napenda upendo baraka. Baraka na wewe, baraka na wewe, baraka na wewe, baraka na wewe, baraka. Baraka na wewe, baraka. Napenda furaha, napenda matumaini, napenda amani, napenda upendo, napenda furaha, napenda matumaini, napenda amani, napenda upendo, napenda furaha, napenda matumaini, napenda amani, napenda upendo. Baraka na wewe, baraka na wewe, baraka na wewe, baraka na wewe, baraka. Baraka na wewe, baraka. Baraka na wewe, baraka.
Good evening. The next song we'll be singing is called "Ain't No Sunshine." I'm going to talk a little bit about the author of the song. The author of the song's name is, as we all know, Bill Withers, but his real name is William Harrison Withers Jr. He was an American singer-songwriter. He produced music from 1970 to 1985. He was born in Slab Fork, West Virginia, and he was the youngest of the 6 children. He also made a bunch of other hit songs. For example, Lean on Me, Use Me, and Just the Two of Us. Enjoy.
Ain't no sunshine when I'm gone. It's not warm when I'm away. Ain't no sunshine when I'm gone, and I'm always gone too long. Anytime I go away.
Wonder this time where she's gone.
Wonder this time where she's gone.
Wonder if she's going to stay.
If she's gonna stay.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. I know, 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 I know. Hey, ought to leave young thing alone. 'Cause ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Oh, ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day.
Only darkness every day.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away.
Anytime I go away.
Anytime she goes away.
Anytime I go away.
Anytime she goes away.
Anytime I go away.
Anytime she goes away.
This next one is one I wrote myself, and I wrote it for anybody who's ever felt insecure as who they are as a person, to let them know that there's nothing wrong with being different, and being who you are is enough. sizes and shapes. But as we grow up, we see a design. But sometimes we all don't fit the blueprint. So we get kicked to the sidelines. 'Cause they don't see the beauty in the strange. They'd rather in this world we all look and act the same. And they say, go away, misfit, you don't fit in. I mean, like they don't really say it, but it's plenty implied. The way you look at me, you may think that I don't see, but I do. I do. They treat you like a monster and strip you of your confidence. Make you feel bad for being weird and make you feel incompetent. 'Cause they don't see the beauty in the strange. They'd rather in this world we all look and act the same. And they say, go away, misfit, you don't fit in. I mean, like they don't really say it, but it's plenty implied. The way you look at me, you may think that I don't see, but I do. I do. The way you look at me, you may think that I don't see, but I do. I do. And they say, go away, misfit, you don't fit in.
So that song was written by the student, right? Linden has so much talent. I'm just so excited. And one day we're going to be celebrating Carter for Black History. How about that? I believe that in my heart. So we have this evening with us an author. Her name is Miss Avalon Brown. She's going to come up and talk about, just real quickly and briefly talk about expressing yourself, writing your thoughts and whatnot. And she has published several books. So just Miss Avalon, come say a couple of words.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me, first of all. I really didn't know what to expect, but you know, it is so important to write down your thoughts. We all go through different situations, and what you write down, you never know what might touch another. You never know what situation they may go through. So that's the way I have written my books, different things, because I am a registered nurse. So my experience as a registered nurse, as a Black registered nurse, actually, I wrote them down. Sometimes I'm just listening to other people's stories or just listening to things they say, and I get an idea and I just start writing things down. So when you have thoughts or when you're going through something, it's good to write these things down, because you never know if the next person is going through it or not. It may help them. I've had a lot of people come and say, you know, I was going through those same things. Your book really helped me when I read it. So it's really important to write. I mean, you know, just, you know, write your thoughts down. Write things that you go through. Look at your life and see if there's something in there that you can write, especially like the children. I mean, even when I wrote my children book, I thought about things that people, like children, when they have colds, and things that can help them go through a cold, because a lot of people don't think about it's that important to just wash my hands, you know, to help me with a cold. So, I mean, when you have thoughts and when things are on you, things are on your mind, write them down. You never know what those thoughts may turn to over the days and over the years. Thank you for having me.
And Avalon's in the back. She did bring one of her children's books. It's like, Why Do I Have a Cold? It's kind of like a kid reading a story so they can get little subliminals on, okay, how do you prevent a cold, right? So she's here with her book. And I'm just going to plug my book, too. Plantation Politics. It took me 8 years to learn. I wrote the book about what I experienced, too, so, and it's all true. The essay contest winners, I do apologize, Miss Thomas. Nyjah Thomas is not here. She did the judging. She is in master's class, so she's a literature. She has a degree in literature. She teaches kindergarten in Newark, but she couldn't come tonight because I kept saying Wednesday. And I kept saying Wednesday, and it was really Tuesday, so her classes are on Tuesday. But so she did make her selections. We have an honorable mention. We have a first, second, and third place. And if you will please give us your undivided attention, we're going to have the youngsters read their essays. So we're going to start with our honorable mention from school number 4, right? Jaden, come on up. Good job.
Wait, do I put it down? Did I bring it down? I don't.
Go ahead, it's going to fall off. Oh, there.
Did you know wait, do I start reading or?
So you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, so hi, my name is Jaden, boys nerd, and I'm from school 4.
Talk loud. Talk loud.
My name is Jaden, boys nerd, and I'm from school 4, and I will be explaining how Kobe Bryant was successful in life and how he was a black African American greatest basketball player. Did you know an African American great basketball player of all time? His name was Kobe Bryant. He was born in Philadelphia, PA, at the age of 3. Then he had moved to Italy. Also, that is where he is from, and that is where he left. The school Kobe Bryant went to in his age of the high school he went to the lower mineral high school, and he was a basketball player when he had went to the college, and also he was a good basketball player, and he was one of the best basketball player in high school. To what his position was in high school was a shooting guard, and the number of shirts that he had was 8 and 24. So far in his NBA career that started 16 years ago, Kobe Bryant has won 5 champions, earned an NBA record 15 selections for all NBA teams, and 12 for a all defense team. He has also led the Legion in scoring, twice won the Slam Dunk Challenge, and got 4 All-Star Game MVP in 14 appearances. Did you know that he had won at least 8 rewards out of his whole life? Kobe Bryant has missed more shots in the regular season than any other player in NBA history. The Los Angeles Lakers star past century legend John Havlicek record 13,141 during Tuesday night game against the Grizzlies. From the stand, the crowd chants MVP, MVP. But Kobe Bryant shot gave the Lakers the game 122 to 104. But Bryant himself scored a record 8 of those points, and those points best of his career, and second only with a chart-belling 1962 100 points game. The Lakers has been down by 80 points in the third quarter, but then Bryant took over, scoring an incredibly 55 points in the second half out of the whole game. What was Kobe Bryant's inspiration to start playing basketball? His family. Kobe's father, Joe Bryant, was a professional basketball player in the NBA, and for many Frenches aboard, being born into a basketball family meant that Kobe started playing basketball when he was 3. There was once heated debate over how to pronounce Los Angeles, although in 1952 the official pronunciation came to be Los Angeles. Jules, its official Spanish production is Los Aljas. Non-Spanish speaking Angeles seem too professional, harder surrounding and their vision. the way that he inspired me is by being a basketball player. He had make me start playing basketball because I wanted to be just like him when I grow up. I would love to meet him one day, but unfortunately I can't because he passed away in a plane crash. When I was little, I was watching him on TV. Kobe Bryant was the best basketball player ever. Wanted to meet him because the way he shoots the ball and the way he handled his practice. He is one of the best basketball players that have guard and shooting, dunking, and on lots of things. Did you know that he had 3 daughters and also one of his daughter can play basketball and lots of sports, but that if she did, I just wish one day that I could see him and that he will be able to teach me how to do those tricks that he do. He retired because he was having too many games at the end up like this. Once again, this was Kobe Bryant after 9 minutes in the last season. 9. In the last 3 years of his career, Kobe didn't play many games at all, and barely made it through the 66 games in his last season. Kobe broke his sleep into 2 hour season, giving him a total of around 4 hours of sleep at a night. Kobe left Italy in 1991 at the age of 13 and moved to become one of the most successful and created basketball players, but he did appear to remember his Italian roots. Naps can be very difficult for the athletes if your authorization correctly. Athletes need to be smart about when and how long their naps are. If the athlete naps proper to completing and enter stage 3 and 4 remaining sleep, then they risk not being carefully awake for their competition time, which could be competed with athlete performance. That is why Kobe Bryant is so smart. Kobe finished off his 20 seasons NBA career on Wednesday night in an almost unbelievable fashion. Playing his final game bring end to what he been a season by both Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. Kobe went off for 60 points on 50 shots to beat the Utah Jazz. Did you know that LeBron averaged more points, rebounds, assists, steals, and has a higher field goal percentages than Kobe Bryant in both of the regular seasons and the playoffs? That is completed domination. That said, one former of 4 current NBA athletes training staff members all separately say that 6 hours for sleep per 24-hour cycle in common among players, an estimate that combines the nightly sleep and the per game nap, and typically for an NBA player, he is the best.
We couldn't get by without a tribute to Kobe Bryant, I'm sure. So, yes. Our third place winner is from school number 9. It's Miriam, and she's going to come up and read her essay for you. Okay?
Hi, my name is Miriam, and I'm from School 9. I'm going to read to you about Rosa Parks and how she was a great African American. She made a great civil rights movement, and she made history. Did you know that an African American started a great civil rights movement? Well, Rosa Parks was an African American that started a great civil rights movement. For Rosa Parks, life wasn't easy because of her skin color. Rosa Parks was a very brave woman who was very famous for the things she did throughout her life. The thing that she's most famous for is not giving up her seat on a bus for a white passenger. Rosa Parks bravely led to nationwide efforts to end racial segregation. Rosa Louise McClory Parks, also known as Rosa Parks, was born on February 4, 1913 and died on October 24, 2005. Rosa Parks was born in Tuskegee, Alabama. She died in Detroit, Michigan. Her parents were James and Sienna McClory, who separated when Rosa Parks was 2 years old. Parks attended a one-room schoolhouse that lacked school supplies such as desks and was also forced to walk to school at a young age while transportation was provided for white students. In 1929, Rosa Parks left school to attend her sick mother and grandmother. Rosa Parks didn't go back to her studies. Instead, she got a job at a shirt factory at age 19, and in 1932, she married Raymond Parks, an active member of the NAACP. Then she got her high school degree in 1933 with her husband's support. After graduating high school in 1943, Parks was involved in civil rights issues by joining the Montgomery chapter of the NAACP and also served as secretary to the president of the NAACP, a post that she held until 1957. Rosa Parks and Raymond Parks never had any kids. Rosa Parks did many things for civil rights. For example, one thing she did was on December 1st when she got arrested for refusing to stand up on a crowded bus to give her seat to a white passenger. She did this because she was tired of giving in. After Parks got arrested, the Montgomery bus boycott started. The Montgomery bus boycott was a civil rights protest that was against segregated seating. It was a huge success because it started December 5th, 1955 and ended December 20th, 1956, with the ruling Supreme Court ruling of that time declaring that the segregated seating on public transportation is unconstitutional. The Montgomery bus boycott lasted a total of 381 days. Life afterwards was hard for Rosa Parks. She and her husband lost their jobs and moved to Detroit, Michigan with her mother. She made a new lifestyle for herself and worked as a secretary and a receptionist. Rosa Parks also served on the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. In 1987, Parks founded the Parks and Raymond Parks for Self-Development. This is an organization that shows young people to important civil rights and Underground Railroad sites throughout the country. Rosa Parks also published 2 books. In 1992, she published Rosa Parks, My Story, and in 1995, she published Quiet Strength. Rosa Parks died at the age of 92. After she died, she received the Spring Grant Medal, the NAACP's highest award, and the Martin Luther King Jr. Award. Then, on September 15, 1996, President Bill Clinton gave her the Presidential Medal of Freedom. A year after that, she received the Congressional Gold Medal. I chose to write about Rosa Parks because I think that what she did and how she stood up for herself and was not afraid was a very brave thing to do. She stood up for what she thought was right and was able to make a great change in history. Rosa Parks freed many people, her accomplishments, and that's why I chose to write about her. She's an African American that truly made a great civil rights movement.
Her closing comment about why she chose to write about Rosa Parks is awesome. At the top of the program, you'll see just a portion of a quote from Congressman John Lewis. It says, "Sometimes you have to get in the way. You have to make noise." So for the young people in the room, speak up for yourself. You are people. You're young. You need to be respectful, but you have a voice, okay? Whether you're writing it down or whether you're having it in conversations. So don't be afraid to make noise. The next person we have is going to be Tracy, and she is our second place essayist from school number 4.
My name is Tracy Jean Gills, and I am in 5th grade in school number 4. For my Black History Month essay, I chose Maya C. Jemison, and the reason I chose her is because she is genuinely an inspiration to me, because she reminds me to always speak up for myself and to always remember that I have a voice too, and to always believe in myself. Did you know an African American woman named Maya C. Jemison? Well, she was the first African American female astronaut and a very inspiring one too. And in my opinion, Maya C. Jemison is an amazing influence to all African American females around the world. Maya was born on October 17, 1956 in Dexter, Alabama, so she is currently 63 years old and still making an amazing and positive difference on the subject of gender equality. Maya C. Jemison was both an American astronaut and physician. And on the date of June 4th, 1987, she became the first African American woman to be admitted into NASA's astronaut training program. Maya is the youngest child born to Charlie Jemison and Dorothy Green Jemison. Charlie Jemison, Maya's father, is both a roofer and carpenter, while Dorothy Green Jemison, Maya's mother, is an elementary school teacher. Maya's sister, Ada Jemison Bullock, became a child physicianary, and her brother, Charles Jemison, is a real estate broker. The Jemison family moved to Chicago, Illinois, when Maya was only 3 years old to take advantage of a better educational opportunities, and it is that very same city that Maya calls her true hometown. Throughout her early school years, Maya's parents were supportive and encouraging of her talents and abilities, and so Maya spent a considerable amount of time in school library reading about all the aspects of science, especially astronomy. Maya C. Jemison is an amazing, smart, inspiring, and talented woman, and she proved that throughout her early life and even more as she got older. Maya C. Jemison is a very known woman, and not for the same reasons as most African Americans like Martin Luther King, Ruby Bridges, and Barack Obama, or for fighting for equality, including race, but instead she inspires people to be determined, and she is her own individual person. Throughout, though she is still trying to achieve a goal and still stand up for what she believes in, as many African Americans heroes were, she didn't just want something. She had a plan to achieve it, and she didn't give up. Maya C. Jemison is mostly known for being the first African American female astronaut and for being the first African American woman to fly into space. Maya flew to space September 12, 1992, with 6 other astronauts aboard the Endeavour on mission STS-47. But that isn't all she is known for. She achieved a lot more things in her life. In recognition of her many accomplishments, Jemison has also received several awards and honorary decorates. So while she was the first African American woman to fly into space, she also has many other accolades and accomplishments that she is known for. A Nobel scientist, engineer, and physician. She helped pave the way for women and minorities in the science field. These facts not only prove that Maya C. Jemison isn't only known for one thing, but she has so many inspirational, amazing, outstanding accomplishments that inspire both African American women and just women in general. How's that for girl power? For this essay, I could have written about any other African American hero, such as Martin Luther King, Ruby Bridges, Barack Obama, Muhammad Ali, and much more. But I chose Maya C. Jemison because she inspires me the most. She reminds me to never give up and do what I believe I should do, not what other people say or think I can do. For instance, in October, when May applied for admission to NASA's astronaut training program, the Challenger disaster of January 1986 delayed the selection process, but she applied a year later. Jemison was one of the 15 candidates chosen for the field of about 2,000. Maya C. Jemison is a remarkable woman and astronaut. Her accomplishments prove that she is way more than just an astronaut. She's also a physician, a Peace Corps volunteer, and way more than just an astronaut. A teacher, a founder, and president of 2 technology companies, and more importantly, a powerful role model to the world. She is so powerful not just because she was the first female astronaut, but because she achieved so many great things and didn't give up, and for that reason, she is an amazing role model to all women. Maya C. Jemison is proof that if we try hard enough, you can achieve anything, female or male. In conclusion, Maya C. Jemison is an amazing, inspirational, and outstanding woman, and she inspires me to always believe in myself and to always know that I can achieve anything if I want it bad enough.
All of the kids are getting a cash prize, but the first and second place, you guys are going to get a big check. So you guys have a big check. So don't spend it all on one, please. And so this year, well, every year we do this. The Civic Association funds the cash prizes, right? So this year we had specific requirements. My niece wanted certain word counts, and so we had to up the ante a little bit. So first prize is $50, then you go down, second prize $25, and then like that. So everybody got a little envelope. Come on, Angelica. Angelica is our first place essayist from school number 4, and she's going to read her essay.
Hello, my name is Angelica, and for this year's Black History Month essay, I wrote about Barbara.
A little bit louder, huh?
Hello, my name is Angelica, and for this year's Black History Month essay, I wrote about Barbara Charlene Jordan. Did you know an African American was an American lawyer, educator, and politician? She was also a leader of the civil rights movement. Her name is Barbara Charlene Jordan. She was born on April 21, 1936, in her parents' home in Houston. Her father, Benjamin Jordan, was a Baptist minister and warehouse clerk. Her mother, Arlene, was a maid, housewife, and church teacher. Texas Congresswoman Barbara Jordan's great-grandfather, Edward Patton, was one of several black representatives representatives who served in the Texas legislature. During Reconstruction, Jordan was the youngest of three daughters in close-knit family. As high school student, she became a skilled public speaker, winning a national debate contest in 1952. Barbara Charlene Jordan won a seat in Texas Senate in 1966, becoming the first African American state senator since 1883 and the first black woman to serve in the body. Re-elected to a full term in the Texas Senate in 1968, she served until 1972. Barbara Charlene Jordan was the first African American as well as the first woman to deliver a keynote address at a Democratic National Convention. Barbara also gave a speech because this speech is thought to be one of the best speeches of the 20th century American history. Throughout her speech, Jordan strongly stood by the Constitution of the United States. The reason I picked Barbara Charlene Jordan is because Jordan supported the Community Reinvestment Act of 1977, legislation that required banks to lend and make services available to underserved, poor, and minority communities. Her own legislative work focused on the environment and state business contracts and urban legislation. The last being a political challenge in a state dominated by rural interests. Jordan did not become a national figure until 1974, when her participation in the hearings held by the House Judiciary Committee on the Impeachment of Press.
In January 17, 1996, Barbara Charlene Jordan passed away in Austin, Texas.
So right here, I have to give you your big check, but I do want to say, so Angelica English is her second language, and she won first place in the essay contest. How about that? Huh? Good job, honey. So, here, this is your big check. Look, somebody take a picture of her with her big check. Huh? 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 And last but not least, we saved the best for last. Just, we every year, like I said, we've been recognizing and celebrating local folks and folks who are from Linden and who have contributed greatly. We did Mrs. Perkins, Atia Perkins. She's a principal at school number 2 now. We also did, I'm trying to think in the years past, we did Miss Hattie Bannister. She was 104 the year that we had celebrated her life and everything that she did. But this year, we are doing Sampson. We just say Sampson affectionately because he's Sampson. Coach Rashawn Sampson. I'm going to read the resolution because we did take the time to get it all typed up and fancy. I don't have my glasses on, but I'm going to hold it far away so I can see it. I met Sampson a long time ago. He actually was my son's coach in Pop Warner. He wouldn't play for anybody else. One year, he wouldn't even play because he was too old to play for Sampson. So, and I was like, okay, whatever. But anyway, Bilal sends you his regards, by the way. Huh? Yeah. So this is the resolution declaring the month of February 2020 as Black History Month and recognizing the selfless service of Rashawn Sampson. Whereas the history of our nation and state is intrinsically linked to the heritage of our country's Black Americans, and whereas the history of Black Americans is the story of extraordinary individuals whose achievements have set examples for citizens of all races, who dedicated their lives to creating a nation where all people are created equal, and whereas in 1926, Dr. Carter Woodson, an African American who completed his PhD from Harvard, started Negro History Week to focus people's attention and to bring their notice to the role of the contributions of African Americans in American history, which in 1976 was changed to a full month of celebration as Black History Month. And whereas Black History Month is celebration of the community to remember all African Americans who made a great change in the life and outlook of all of our citizens, and whereas the history of New Jersey has been enriched by Black New Jerseyans whose achievements have set the highest standards for people of all races, and it's also the story of countless nameless heroes. And whereas Rashawn Sampson, the son of Wilhelmina Sampson and Byron Johnson, was raised in Linden, New Jersey, he's a graduate from Linden Public School District. He later attended Bloomfield College and would marry his high school sweetheart, Rebecca Bartell Sampson. They have 3 beautiful daughters, Jasmine, Tiffany, and Danielle. And whereas Rashawn has always had a love for sports, he played 5 years of semi-professional football. And whereas Rashawn, with his love for sports and children, began coaching basketball in 1992 at Linden Recreation, he became a volunteer coach in Linden Pop Warner in 2003 and has been a certified basketball referee since 2011. Rashawn is also a coach for the Linden Girls Recreation Basketball since 2019. And boys. And whereas it should be duly noted that Rashawn's efforts as a coach are essential to the development of student athletes, leadership skills, and character, and now therefore be it resolved that the City of Linden wishes to thank Rashawn Sampson, sincerely thank you, for the many years of service, and urge all of our citizens of the City of Linden to reflect upon the many contributions that he and many other Black Americans have made to this city, state, and nation, and to participate in the activities and programs that are held in the observance of Black History Month. Be it further resolved that the City Council of the City of Linden pay tribute, acknowledges the accomplishments of Black Americans by declaring the month of February 2020 Black History Month, and be it further resolved that this resolution is entered into the minutes of the Council of the City of Linden, and that a copy hereof be appropriately presented to Rashawn Sampson. in recognition of the foregoing. We passed this resolution at the council meeting, so nobody voted against you. No, I'm only joking. But so, because, and so when the mayor did say to me that he says, thank you for recognizing Sampson. He also pretended that he was your cousin, so I don't know. So come up, Rashawn, get your resolution. Huh? Give me a hug. Thank you. Yeah. You don't get a big check, but I do have this. This is a little plaque. No check. This is better than a check. This it lasts forever. Yeah. And so this is nice. It's a plaque, and it says 2020 City of Linden Black History Month honoree presented to Rashawn Sampson in recognition of his selfless service to the youth of Linden. Thank you. You say something nice, like a kid.
Thank you for honoring me. I appreciate it. I don't want to say but thank you. Thank you to the parents that let me coach their kids. Thank you to the kids who let me coach. Thank you to the coaches that taught me when I first started coaching, Greg Parker, Jeffrey Wade, and Derek Brown, who showed me that, it wasn't just about being out there. It's about being out there and spending time with the kids, teaching them how to play the sport, and giving them life lessons and being a mentor for them. So, just thank you. That's all I can say.
So that was technically is basically the conclusion, but I do want to say this. In 2011, we got a resolution, an ordinance by a certain councilwoman who said that all the coaches had to get background checks, right? And it wasn't received favorably. Rashawn was like, listen, we're supposed to protect our kids. So he didn't give me any problems. He did what he had to do, and he's still coaching to this day, and I appreciate you. And all of the coaches in the city of Linden, volunteers, the referees, except for when I'm a mom parent. But so thank you all for coming. Our clergy person couldn't make it, but I do want to acknowledge Linden Recreation. We've been doing it here, and they have been so accommodating over the years. I personally miss Miss Nancy this year. So on the program, you see it's dedicated to Nancy Braxton because this was her favorite thing. And no matter what we did politically, Nancy was right here. We always had refreshments, and she always had a good thing going. So we missed her, and so we're going to make sure that we say it out loud. This was dedicated to Nancy, and she's always in our hearts. So the benediction is simply this. I pray that God will give you all traveling mercy, and good night. Yep.